Hello, I'm Teacher Karina, and I'm here to share some information with you about Jane Austen. Jane Austen was a Georgian era author best known for her social commentary in novels including Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, and Emma.
In 1795, Jane Austen is herself looking for a husband. 20 years old, she lives in a world where a woman has only one way of making a better life for herself: marrying well.
You measured a woman's worth in 18th century England by her fortune and her birth, and then only secondarily by her marriage. Jane, of course, was born into poverty, although genteel.
I think the society in Jane Austen's time really saw women as needing a man in order to have a status in society.
Jane is in love with a wealthy young man named Thomas Lefroy. In defiance of her peers, Jane boldly displays her affections in public and writes about it in a letter to her sister, Cassandra.
My dear Cassandra, after this necessary preamble, I shall proceed to inform you that we had an exceedingly good ball last night. I am almost afraid to tell you how my Irish friend and I behaved. Imagine to yourself everything most profligate and shocking in the way of dancing and sitting down together. He's a very gentlemanlike, good-looking, pleasant young man, I assure you.
Jane assumes Lefroy will soon offer his hand in marriage, but the proposal never comes. Instead, he succumbs to family pressure to marry rich and leaves town.
At length the day has come on which I am to flirt my last with Tom Lefroy, and when you receive this, it will be over. My tears flow with a melancholy idea.
The experience leaves Jane with a deep understanding of the intricacies of love, its euphoric highs and heartbreaking lows. The powerful lesson will soon inspire her fiction.
Jane Austen joined a group of women of her class in her day who were professional writers. But unlike many of them who put their bylines on their work, Jane Austen preferred to remain quiet about her writing. Part of this, I think, came from personal modesty. Part of it also may have come from a desire to maintain ladylike decorum in not publishing her name on her works.
In 1811, Sense and Sensibility is published anonymously by a lady. The book is a modest success among England's literary elite.
When you think about that, the phrase "by a lady" carries a lot of meaning. That this novel is going to have certain characteristics to it that you won't find in a novel written by a man.
She's very sly. She's very sly. I think she liked her anonymity, but I think she also liked her emerging fame.
Jane Austen, age 36, quietly delights in her first paycheck and begins to think of herself as a writer. Only trusted friends and family know who the real author is. Since then, her books have sold millions of copies and have been translated into dozens of languages. Critics have called her works marvelous and majestic.
Pure frenzy, rage, obsession, fever. I mean, it's often talked about almost in highly pathological terms.
Few who knew Jane as a child could have predicted she'd turn the Austen name into gold. Jane Austen, now 41, has become gravely ill and believes her time may be running out. April 1817. To Cassandra, she writes,
Feverish nights, weakness and languor, I must not depend upon being ever very blooming again. Sickness is a dangerous indulgence at my time of life.
As July approaches, death comes to claim her. She tells her sister, Cassandra,
Let it come take me.
I think Jane Austen felt loved. I think she felt loved by her brothers. I think she felt loved by her sister. I think she felt loved by her nieces and nephews. I don't think that she thought that she was leading a lonesome or unsatisfying life. That feeling loved was necessarily dependent on being married or being loved by a husband.
In the winter following her death, Jane's older brother Henry helps publish her surviving works and reveals that Jane Austen is the writer behind the novels.